Hey.
Hey, come on in the room. Come on in the room.
Come on in and see
What's going on, good people out there? Hey, welcome to M.V.P.
and we just want to help you see. We talk real life, no cap, no shade. Truth in the open, no mask, no fade. From love and money to faith and pride, it's a ride through the mind of the other side.
I mean, that reminds me of them old football games when you used to
in the room. In the room. Oh, in the room. Ooh. In the room.
Come on, y'all.
In the room.
Hey.
In the room.
Let's talk about it in the room.
In the room.
Talk about it in the room.
In the room. That was going to be a whole single. We would have to cut that, Mr. Ernest.
Oh, that boy said we're going to go in the studio.
Man.
And on the 5th week at number 1, in the room.
In the room.
What's going on, good people?
Yeah.
What's going on? Going zones, as Bernie Mac would say. What's going zones? Another week, man. Another week. How you doing?
Yeah. You know, just proud of the consistency. You know, it's been.
It's discipline, man.
Yeah.
It's discipline.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Ernest for being very diligent and accommodating.
Diligence.
I'm sure he could be doing a million other things.
Yes, sir. But discipline and commitment will actually do better than talent.
Absolutely.
Because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you ain't got discipline and you don't have commitment, it don't matter.
At all.
So you gotta have that discipline, man. And you know, sometimes we don't have that. We let things get in the way and, you know, we can't stay focused for whatever reason. Then we be asking questions, why ain't nothing happen? Because you gotta be disciplined.
Through the hard times, through every time.
Yeah. So, discipline, bruh.
What is this, episode 6?
Boy, this 7, boy.
Oh, how befitting.
I thought about that. I said, ooh, look at Gart. Look at Gart.
7 is a great number.
7 is a good
8 is a better number, but we like 7.
I don't know about that. 3 is the number of completion.
Yeah, you know.
1, 2, and 3.
Not sure.
All 3 of y'all. Put some respect on my name. All 3 of you. But anyway, man, it's you know, that's the message today. The message we can shut the podcast down right now. Just, you know, you gotta have discipline. It don't matter. Like I said, it don't matter talent, it don't matter luck, it don't matter anything. If you don't have discipline to make things go, and that's in every walk of life. In love, relationships, finances, even communication, man. You gotta have discipline to make things work. So
Absolutely.
All right then.
With that being said,
Let's go. You know, here you go.
No, I think that was a pregame.
That was a pregame?
Yeah, I think that's just sizzling some folks' spirit. We shouting out Uncle Nearest today.
Sure. You know, we got to shout them out until
we
they
gotta
shout
we gotta start
out.
tagging them on.
I be trying to tag them. I'm gonna memorize this one day. Then I ain't got to read it, but Uncle Nearest, 1884, continues the remarkable legacy of Tennessee distilling legend Nearest Green, the first known African-American master distiller. Each small batch is curated by his great-great-granddaughter, Whiskey Magazine's 2021 Master Blender of the Year, Victoria Edie Butler. Utilizing the process of maple charcoal, mellowing that Nearest helped perfect over 160 years ago. 1884 delivers a whiskey that is as smooth as it is complex.
I think you've mastered that corporate voice.
What you talk about? I need to do voiceovers. Anybody out there got a job for me to do voiceovers? Y'all hit me up on Instagram.
Not on Instagram.
TB Smith. I'm going to give you my whole number. Just hit me up. Text me, 813-763-6156. That's 813-763-6156. Hit me up, because your talent will make room for you. But Uncaneers, stand alone or in your favorite cocktail. Uncaneers 1884. Smooth but complex.
That would sound like a commercial. I like it.
But after all of that, though, you gotta love.
Just because.
Just because. That's what.
We got some merch on the way. You still got the merch on the way?
Yeah, man, we got the merch on the way. Actually, I checked on it this week, and we should have some prototypes coming out hopefully next week, so we can make the decisions on what we're alpha men, so we just don't be putting out anything. We got to make sure that thing is crisp, crisp and pristine. So sometimes that takes a moment. We don't rush through things. So perfect timing. Everything has its timing. So, but yeah, we're working on that, and hopefully we're gonna be able to get that out to you.
Absolutely, and I think that's a perfect segue into what we got going today.
What we got going today? That boy gonna go in the cup today.
Nah, we ain't going.
He ain't going in the cup.
Nah, I feel like this is.
I can't say he ain't going in the cup.
This is coming from. I think I'm gonna say this off rip. I definitely want to do a part 2, and I know you ain't reached out to your dean yet. I know you ain't even.
I'm gonna see my dean. I'm gonna see my dean next week.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He gonna be at the funeral.
So you gonna try to get him?
Yeah, definitely.
Man, we gotta make that happen, man.
Indeed.
I gotta, wait on you and y'all. Older people move slow.
I tell you, no, we just we ain't slow. We just show. We show. We ain't slow. We show. We gonna make sure everything all right. Make sure.
Yeah.
Everything is all right.
With that being said, yeah, we got. I wanted to talk about just the state of Greek life. I feel like, we'd be wearing the Nelly and stuff, and we make it known that we're alphas and stuff. But I feel like we have yet to really dive into, a deep conversation. So many things go on with Greek life when we're talking about, whether it be just the traditions, whether it be the pledging aspect. And let me go ahead and give this statement beforehand. Alpha Phi Alpha is a non-hazing, non-pledging organization. So
non-hazing, non-pledging.
So anything,
organization.
If we slip up or not slip up, but if anything comes out of this, I just want you to know, Alpha Phi Alpha, we please don't sue us.
National's gonna be knocking on us.
Slip us that real nice slip.
National's gonna be like.
But at the same time, we want to give a real perspective and a real answer, especially talking about the aspect of people dying. That boy at what was that, HBCU? I think it was Southern. He was pledging Q and he passed away. So I want to get into that. I want to get into the whole denouncing thing. That's a whole popular topic right now. It just kind of go through some questions that for you that I may not have ever asked or thought about, that I want you to answer, and vice versa. So this is just our Greek episode. Like I said, we do have a part 2 coming, and I would love part 2 to be with his dean and my dean. So we're gonna have just a full forced conversation, not only about Alpha Phi Alpha, but just about Greek life in general. So let this be part 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you heard?
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna be alphaed out. We're not gonna be
where
alphaed
the
out.
Egyptians taught the Greeks. Have you heard of a city? Did you know that?
What?
Where the Egyptians taught the Greeks.
Did I know that?
In the name of the city is A-Phi-A.
I really want this episode to be, I want any Greek person to watch this and feel like they can get a word from this. I don't want it to be like a super alpha episode.
No,
No, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, we're going to do what we do, but
Yeah.
I want it to be a very like,
Well,
I want
since
it to be more
Alpha
about.
Phi Alpha was the first, we
Yeah.
got to establish that base, and we got
There
to
gonna be people in the comments like, no. People gonna be in the comments like, no, y'all wasn't.
Well, as far as Black Greek letter
Yeah.
organizations in the U.S., so to speak.
Yeah.
So, 1906, Cornell University, 7 wise men. I ain't gonna even do it like that. Just 7 men
Yeah.
came up with a plan. But, you got to lay the basic of the foundation where, 1906, think about that time period. So,
Very brave move.
very brave move, especially at an Ivy League school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, they were up north. Yeah.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah.
For them to come together and initially come together as a social club, study club, but then to have the wherewithal, if you will, or the foresight to say, hey, we can push this further. And then now to look at what the organization
Over hundreds of years. later.
has done in the lives touch and the what we've done for the communities, for campus.
So let's break
life.
it down though, because you're gonna have people watching this that are not Greek and don't understand what it is. So that's why I'm saying I don't want this episode to be over anyone's head. I want it to be a real like kind of basis. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like bottom tier. Like what is Greek life? You know what I'm saying? Where does it derive from? Who's in it? You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. Because I know we're going to have a lot of viewers that may not know where we come from or why it was created and things of that nature. So let's start with just the D9 and naming everyone who's in the D9. Who in the D9, Tony?
Well, for starters,
Yeah.
there's Alpha Phi Alpha.
Yeah.
There is the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Mm.
There is the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta.
Not Theta.
Theta.
They're going to be in the comments like,
Theta.
what?
All right. So a funny story about that, real quickly, and I'm gonna go back to name them. My line brother was from the Virgin Islands. What's up, LB? Joel Reimer. He was from the Virgin Islands, so he had a thick accent. And the night we came out, it was like, greet the Deltas, and he was the number one, so he led the. Oh my God. And we had a big brother, man. His name was Rodney Cohen, and he was my roommate, Miss Rodney. Tater? That's a Timber Tater, man. Oh, yeah. But,
Hey, man. Y'all got to get it together, man.
Yeah, so.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Delta Timber Tater. But let me say it right, because, I know a lot of women of Delta Sigma Theta, and they gonna be like, oh, so you just gonna put us?
You just gonna play with?
Yeah, you just gonna play in our face like that? No, Delta Sigma Theta, the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta. Then you have the men of, and I'm not putting it in order of year that they were founded. You have the men of Omega Psi Phi, the Qs, one time. Then you have Kappa Alpha Psi.
Mm-hmm.
You have Zeta Phi Beta.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Phi Beta Sigma.
Mm-hmm.
You have Sigma Gamma Rho.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're missing one. And then you have Iota Phi Theta, which is, I ain't going to put them out because we had some Iotas when I got to Clark. But they round off, So Alpha Phi Alpha, Cornell, the AKAs was at Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Kappa Alpha Psi, Indiana University. Omega Psi Phi, Howard. Delta, founded at Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Phi Beta Sigma, Howard. Howard, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Zeta Phi Beta, Howard. Sigma Gamma Rho, Butler University, and Iota Phi Theta is Morgan State. So those are the D9. We call them the Divine Nine. So if you're new to Greekdom, when you hear D9, the D is for divine, the 9 is for the 9 members of the organization. So,
Yes.
and they're, we're world
Around the world, Craig.
renowned. Yeah, the world.
The world
Craig.
needs security,
The world
Craig.
needs fraternities, sororities, Craig.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So introducing that. So what topics do? Because I do want to touch on denouncing. I want to touch on a couple things in regards to just asking you a couple questions about your experience and my experience, and let's touch on a couple other things to kind of round it off.
Well, most of these, when you look at the years that it was founded, most of these organizations, were founded were, very close to the ending of slavery. But when you look at them, there were no, at these universities, well, Howard is a HBCU. Cornell was not. But coming together, any black people at that time coming together to, form something that was, at the time of incipiency, they probably didn't know, and maybe they did. Maybe they did know, oh, this is going to, take off. But
Change the world.
I feel like that was a big risk.
Oh, for sure.
Not only, in the sense of the organization, but in your life. Black folk coming together and intelligent black folks coming together. I'm sure people, what y'all trying to do? What's really going on? Y'all trying to
all the obstacles they may have had to face just to keep it alive and keep it going.
Yeah,
So yeah,
definitely. So anytime, I feel like any organization of the culture tries to get together and push a agenda for the culture, we get met with resistance. And that, that's still happening today. And I want to say too, though, it's a testament to unity. Because a lot of times, I'm gonna just put it and be real out there. Black folks, man, we don't be sticking together like we should be. We don't. And sometimes you see that even in the fraternity and sororities. Well, I don't know about sororities because I ain't no, Sarah. But in the fraternities, it's difficult
it's
to
across
keep
the board.
everybody, on the same page of music. You got people always trying to dissent, even with, we're going to talk about these people who are denouncing, the fraternities or whatever and sororities. It's hard to keep us on the same page of music, man. Everybody we talk about they hearing something else, and
just a lot of opinions, a lot of different. Yeah.
So shout outs though, man. Shout outs to all of the organizations for keeping it. We're still here, and no, we're not perfect, and yeah, we have some things that happen, and we have knuckleheads that do stupid stuff. But overall, when you look at what we have done for humanity, and not only our culture, but just humanity, period, man, it's major.
Absolutely.
So what you want to, what questions you got for me, man?
Yeah,
Fall 86.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, okay, with you being,
Old school.
a seasoned member.
Old school.
Well, you 30 years, 35 years?
Fall 86. So
You
this
just celebrated
is,
what? 30, 35?
35. So yeah, we about to go.
What is this homecoming? 36, 37?
I think this is what, 37?
Why are you asking me? I don't know.
Do the math, man. You the math major.
You the one who did it?
2006.
I ain't no math major. Don't put that on me.
2006. The marketing major. 86. 96.
Okay, over 35 years.
2006, 16. That's 30 years. And we're almost about to be 26, right? 26 gonna be 40 years.
Wow. Wow.
40 years. That's how long the Israelites was wandering around in the desert.
So with you being in a part of the Greek organization for 40 years, what are some things that you've kind of seen?
Man, that is a long time.
Yeah, that's a very long time. You've seen a lot of, you know what I'm saying? You've literally seen Greek life change in a lot of ways.
A generation.
Yeah, you've gotten to witness, your son go through things. So I'm sure you've seen things be present that are no longer present anymore. Just kind of just give us a little wisdom of, what's your opinion on Greek life right now, and where's it struggling at, and where could it be better, and what are some things that you feel like was done better in your day that are not done as well now?
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah, and don't be on some on some old head hater type energy. We want.
Well, I think for us old heads though, what we have to realize that everything is evolving, and that's with everything. You see that with everything, and some people. And what I'm trying to learn too is, hey, this is not your time. That things evolve, and so you got to let go. But I think one of the biggest things, people kind of feel like, or people who like me or old school or whatever, we feel like that was foundation, and sometimes we feel like you new cats. You run too far away from the foundation, and the foundation is solid. The foundation is why we are still here. So sometimes we just get kind of like, what the hell burden? What are y'all doing? And because we feel like, and this is just me speaking, bro. So old school, bro. Like, I don't feel like that. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I'll admit, we have to evolve. We do. We have to evolve, and we have to know that times have changed. And things are a little bit more. The world is a little bit more litigious, so to speak, than when it was when I came through in '86. But we just want to, I feel like, with that whole statement, if it ain't broke, it ain't fixed. There are some good things, good foundations, good cornerstones that we laid. So I think that every older brother, when you guys come in and y'all act like, y'all started something, hell to the no. Y'all ain't start shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's always important to give homage and to know the history of, what's going on. And not only the history of your fraternity, but the history of your chapter, like who did what and whatever. And at Clark Atlanta, Alpha has such a great footprint on that campus that, I feel like younger brothers y'all do yourselves a disservice when you don't consult. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like I said before, there are older brothers who don't want to let go and this, that, and the third. But the knowledge that you can get, or the knowledge that you guys you miss just because, oh man, them old heads ain't bro, we made the key. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the stuff that you guys go through or whatever, because really when you think about things, even though, y'all are here or whatever, but things are cycles. So, I would say get all the keys that you can get, because you don't know, that key might unlock it unlocked the door in 86, but it might unlock the door in 2026. Because it's the same door. And we got the key. So, but I will also say, we as older bros, we do have to recognize that, you know, it is a different time. Like, for instance, you know, all the strolling. We be like, all y'all doing is dancing. What the hell? We wasn't dancing. We was truly stepping, man. It was, you know, it was precise. Yeah. And, you know, now it's like, you know, I'm like, you know.
Too many body rolls.
Too many body rolls. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And too many whistles. Why everybody got to have a whistle? I don't I'm like, we ain't have no whistle because everybody knew what they was doing because we rehearsed like that. And I'm not saying that y'all don't. I've never seen.
Nah, for sure. I mean, like I said, it's your opinion.
You know, you knew what you had to do without a whistle. Like, it wasn't no damn whistle.
Right.
You know, we had a step master, and the step master was the person who just, you know, he just had a knack for stepping.
Or was it best at it or could teach it or whatever.
Yeah. But so that's what I would say overall, that, you know, don't dismiss us because, you know, we laid the foundation.
Yeah, I will say to that, I think, and you know, I'm never, you know, I think I'm the anomaly just because of, you know, how you raised me and how mom raised me. So I never was the type of younger person to kind of push off old heads. To me, it's actually kind of funny, and I always love to hear the stories. Not funny like ha like I'm laughing at you, but funny like, you know, you ever get around, especially around homecoming, you ever get around the right old heads, you're gonna hear some stuff that you ain't never heard. So, and I have a couple of line brothers that, I don't know, I just think that maybe my generation has a hard time with accepting that the door is still the same. You know, I think that that's where the confusion or the disconnect is that, you know, they come in there thinking that, you know, like, you know, we've created this, or
y'all ain't created shit. Got hot. And I said that.
Yeah, but I ain't said that again for you to get re-riled up. Go ahead, sit back. But yeah, so, you know, I've seen that happen. Like I said, I can't really say that I've been a part of that because I've always, like I said, just being by your side and seeing, you know, just how you operated around, you know, during homecomings or just brothers in general. I've always had a respect for older brothers, and I've always made sure that I've made that known. But I've seen the other side as well of, you know, just the disrespect or the disconnect that can go on when just being in a fraternity. So, and
I think, and I might be wrong, but I think if you show older brothers respect, they gonna show you respect.
Yeah, you get what you get put out.
Yeah. But for you to get respect, like if you come and we feel like, oh,
I think that what the real disconnect is that, and again, I'm not saying it's right, but I think younger brothers just don't be feeling like, for lack of a better word, trying to kiss older brothers' ass.
It ain't that, but I don't think it's kiss ass. But see, that's y'all generate. That I feel like in this. Not only in fraternity, I feel like this is a generational problem with young people, period, is that, you know, you have no clue of, like, for instance, you know what I'm waiting for, and I don't want you to do it anytime soon, but when it happens.
Don't wish that on me.
No. But when you finally have a child, you may not never tell me, which is cool. Because I don't know if I even expressed that to my dad. I showed him in deeds, you know, later on, but I don't think I never articulated to him, hey, God dang, man, you know, because when you have a child, some of these things that you might look at me side-eyed and funny now, when you have your child, you can be like, God dang, I see it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think it's the same thing. Y'all generation, man, is, and I don't think that, and I'm not coming down on you, I'm just speaking truth.
Yeah, this is your opinion.
Yeah, I'm just speaking truth, and it's my opinion. That homage of people who not knock the doors down for you. You know, we knocked it down, and we don't want a lot. We just want you to realize that we knocked the door
Acknowledge that.
down, and because of us, that's why the door is open. The door is not open because, 2021 you players? The door ain't open because of 2021. And I pledged in 86. So I had to give homage to those guys way before me. You know what I'm saying? They opened the door.
Like you said, it's a cycle.
Right, it's a cycle. But I make sure I'm 57.
Damn. I had to do it. I'm sorry. I had to. We need to clip that too. We got to put that on TikTok. Go ahead. You 57. You look good too, Tony.
You know what?
You look good. The beard.
Hey, what was the man?
I've always thought you had a good beard on
Kevin
you.
Hart.
That's why I did it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm finna do like
It's
the
all right.
man he said that too. It was Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do after Kevin said it. He was like,
You look good though.
yeah, anyway.
The beard look good.
But even fall 85, my dean was on fall 85. Your line brother, Devin, his father.
Devin Dickinson. Shout out to you, Devin. He be watching.
Yeah,
Shout out his daddy.
And shout out to his father,
Daddy Dickinson.
Marvin Dickinson, who was my big brother, line 84.
Yeah.
But to this day, and they just had a reunion. It was cool, man. They lost one person in their line.
How many they had on their line?
7.
Are you right?
Magnificent 7.
Why you say? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but number 6, Demetrius Howard.
He
God
passed?
bless him. He passed, man. Meat was something else, man. One of the smartest brothers.
Recently, he
ever-
passed recently.
Yeah, not too long ago. Maybe about a year and a half ago.
God bless.
But their line just got together in North Carolina, and their number one of that line was Harold Holbrook, and he was the chapter president at the time. But Harold also was one of my best big brothers, man. I lived at his apartment for a little bit, whatever. But even to this day, and Reverend Easley's son, David, God bless Reverend Easley, who just passed, and we're going to be celebrating his homegoing next weekend. But his son, David Easley, was on that line.
I wonder how he felt about his son played Alpha.
I know, right? Because he was accused.
Yeah.
So, but I give those guys homage, man, to this day. And so much so, and I felt so honored. And he might have called some other younger brothers, I don't know. But I told Marvin, I said, hey, man, when y'all get together, call me. And he FaceTimed me.
Wow.
And I got to see those brothers, man.
Hey, shout out to Big Bro Dickinson, man, because even like I just, man, and that's why I'm not the biggest, since I've gotten older and we getting off track, but I kind of like this because it just gives the podcast character. I have got kind of strayed away to actually going to church every Sunday and doing that. But I've always been a believer.
You must be your father's son. Go ahead.
Ma gonna hate this. Hey, mama. I've kind of strayed away from that, but I've always just been focused on being a good person, being a person who still believes, and I just believe in God's timing, and everything happens for a reason, even if you don't know what that reason is. But I say all that to say that Big Bro Dickinson and just me being able to, what all I have gone through, and we're going to talk about that in part 2 when we have our deans and stuff, but just the journey that I went through to Alpha Land, and just being able to have a line brother that, just so happened to be a legacy like me, and just to experience Mr. Dickinson and the way that I have, and him watching me grow up from homecomings and everything. Like, just shout out to you, big bro. I know you be watching, and I just want to let you know, man. He called up me when we released the first episode, and he was just giving his opinion and everything. He's dope, man. His family's dope. His son is dope. Shout out to you, Devin.
His wife went to Clark.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So just a little bit to
And shout out
piggyback
his
on
other
that.
son too. I like his other son. He's hella cool.
Yeah. So Marvin was my RA
Yeah.
when I got freshman guy,
Yeah.
right? From a little city called Butler, Alabama.
I already know this story. Yeah. You tell
Butler,
him.
Alabama. So anyway,
One
first
street light.
No, one street light and a church's chicken. And one school from K to 12. I went, and this is how strong these bonds are. Yeah. When we talk about fraternities and whatever, and so some people, oh, they're not really that close. Oh, yes, the fuck we are. Excuse me, Ernest. I'm so sorry, but we are. You know, there are some brothers, man. Like
you really, they call me your brother for real.
They're a brother. Like So I went home with Marvin one Thanksgiving, I think it was.
You remember the year?
Oh,
I'm a
man,
date type of guy.
It had to be 87.
You was already Alpha?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know what he gonna say. I gotta say this for him. Shut up, man, because I know you talking about Frankie Peoples. Be quiet. Nobody won't know nothing about Frankie Peoples. But tell Frank I say, hey.
That ain't even your camera. I think it's that right up.
Hey. Hey, Frankie. Anyway, that's an inside joke between Marvin and myself. So when I met Marvin was my RA, and I remember the first time going down to his room, third floor, Brawley Hall, all my Brawley Hall brothers, man. And I wasn't Greek then. And Marvin was fixing a sandwich, and he had this blue plate mayonnaise. What the hell is blue plate mayonnaise? But he offered me a little spice ham sandwich or whatever it was, and that thing was good. I was like, okay. And the next time I saw Marvin, they had a singing group called the Alpha Singers, and they used to sing in the hallway of Brawley Hall. And so I came in one night and they were singing, I think Holbrook, Demetrius, Eric Eccles. What's up, Eric Eccles? Me and Eric was not Line Brothers. Eric and I, Room 2, were roommates together. Jazz, and you know about your Uncle Jazz. So they was singing, man, and I was on the floor below them, and they was singing. I remember the song, Lost in Love by New Edition. Would you love me a nice or cold? Then it goes into this harmony, and they was missing somebody, so I'm singing her.
So give us a little background. So why did you end up in the hallway? You was thirsty?
No, it was the stairway.
Right. How did you end up in there?
Because I heard somebody singing in the stairway.
Oh, so you just being nosy.
Music, harmony. I was like, oh, they sound kind of good. Mm-hmm. No, y'all really did. Nah, yes, y'all did. They were sounding pretty good. So I went and sat on a floor below, and I started singing the part that was kind of missing. And so it may have been Marvin who came down and was like, that's you singing? No. But it was. But anyway, and then I found out that he was the president of the gospel choir at the time. And then there was this lady, she was in the choir. She was from the Virgin Islands. Her name was Barbara Moraine. And she knew Marvin. She was an Alpha Sweetheart. That's when Alpha Sweethearts, bro, was thick. Alpha Sweethearts were stronger on Clark's campus than some
we had to get rid of
sororities.
Yeah, we had to get rid of them.
But see, y'all didn't know how to manage them. We managed them. See, we knew how to manage them.
Cut. Go ahead.
But we did. We knew how to manage. But anyway, so she introduced me to Marvin, and she was like, "Oh, you I can't do the accent, but you interested in Alpha, And so I was interested in Alpha. And so then I went, to the Smoker. Back then we called it Smokers. I don't know what y'all call it now. Interest me. But it was Smokers back then, because we finna smoke you out. That's why I was called a Smoker. Mm-hmm. And the Alpha Smokers at Clark was always off yard. We was grown. Like Cohen would say, man, we grown.
It's the 80s for real, with no rules.
So we but it was at our advisor's house. Yeah. So and that was one of the things about, I felt like Alpha in that time too, period. They were so visible in the yard, but they was also mysterious, like,
so that's what attracted you to Alpha?
Yeah. Well, it was that. What really attracted me to Alpha, I had a cousin, shout out to my cousin Eugene Vickers, who pledged at Tuskegee. And, he was kind of like a mentor my whole, life just watching him grow up, play sports, then, go to college, run track. And then I had this mentor called Richard Pride, who's over the Upward Bound program here at University of South Florida. Shout out to them, who was just, he was the epitome of, an alpha man in the sense of, just organized. He valued education. He would check you, and so those two people, really kind of was like, oh, they alphas. What is this alpha? But when I got to Clark, what is this alpha you speak of? What is this 1906? But when I got to Clark, man, most of the male teachers were alphas. The president was an alpha. And they did so much on the yard. And they ran like every organization. SGA, like I said, Marvin was the president of the choir. They had the highest GPA at the time, and then their parties was kind of lit, I was like, dang, these cats kind of, and then every Wednesday, man, them cats would dress up, bow ties, suits, man, because Wednesdays was chicken day, boy.
Fried chicken Wednesday.
Yeah. No, not wings, but
Wednesday.
The whole chicken.
Yeah, fried chicken Wednesdays.
Yes, Lord.
Fried fish Fridays.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If
Tradition,
you know, you know.
If you know,
Shout
you know.
out all my HBCU alums.
And so, the bros would come through, man, and, they would just be dressed impeccably. And then then I started to meet some of them. And I was like, wow, these cats, man, these some deep cats, And so I kind of started doing my research on the history, so to speak, on, in my sophomore year, man. Joined the interest group.
Through it. Yes, sir.
And the interest group, man, we had about, we had to have close to about 30 people in this interest group. And only 3 of us made live, bro. It was probably we don't have a one person. Yeah. So before that, I think, shout out to Calvin. His son.
Yeah. What year he was after you, right?
Yeah, he was way after me.
Big bro Calvin.
Yeah.
Not
Calvin.
Bridges, right?
Bridges. Yeah. So, it was just 3 of us, man. And but my reasons when I did my research, and everybody has to do their research for what the history was from Alpha, where they came from, what they were doing in the community, what they were doing on campus. I would say this, and I'm gonna shut up because I've been talking a lot. The person that I am today, when these people be like, oh, you gotta, y'all are, it's evil, it's this, that. Everybody got their opinion. And I would personally say Alpha never took me away from my belief in the Lord. It ain't never told me to do nothing. Some people be like, oh, well, the Bible says, anything that you put before God is a pagan or a fake God or whatever. I don't worship Alpha. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's where a lot of people get confused.
It's
just a part of who you are.
That, right. They think that, okay, yeah, oh my God, I'm a mighty Alpha. No, Alpha is a tool. And it was a great tool for me that made me a better man, period, because it held me to some standards.
Yeah.
Definitely held me to some standards, but you couldn't come in the meeting. First of all, you ain't come in the meeting looking like any howdy doody or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You had structure.
It was structure.
Yeah.
It taught you how to speak, how to present. For me, how to be business minded. Because boy, you came to fraternity meeting, you didn't have your report, and you was over an event. But it was a wrap. You might as well just Yeah, you just gonna be inactive for a little while because brothers gonna be like, So it was that accountability piece, man. That I wouldn't say I didn't have, but it definitely flourished me in that sense, and leadership. Like, you couldn't help but be a leader because everybody, I mean, hell, like I said, the president was an alpha. Even to this day, shout outs to Dr. French, Alpha
Absolutely.
Man.
And that's what I feel like, just to bring it to my experience. So just growing up and seeing all that, like I said, growing up being able to come to all the homecomings and things like that. For me, it was like something that I always seen, but for me to be able to go to Clark and see it for myself and for it to still have the same standard that it had back in the day, I thought was just a testament to not only just the organization, but the chapter as well. I think the chapter really shapes your experience as well too, though. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the fraternity, you have the organization as a whole, but your chapter can really make or break your experience in the fraternity. And shout out to Alpha Phi for just constantly.
Because that chapter was a strong chapter. I know when I was there, 9 out of 10 years we were chapter of the year.
Yeah, and that still goes on to today.
Yeah, so, to this day. So it was if like I said, that video of you when you were, I don't know how
you was going off on them,
when I was going off on them, because I felt like
recently.
they was getting off track, man. There was a certain standard for Alpha Phi, and that's what I said. If you play as Alpha Phi, man, you was about something. But when I looked around the room at that point, I was like, what the hell is going on? What are y'all doing? Y'all just got hats on in the house? I mean, we don't do that. We respect, and then the pants all hanging off the ass and all that. Man, I was about to lose it, bro. Yeah, they was about
flashbacks.
Bro, I was about to lose it.
But yeah, so I done lost track completely.
So tell me, I
do want to touch on denouncing though.
Okay, go ahead. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, how do you feel? I mean, I give how I feel I feel like today, I feel like it's happening more now than ever in the sense of like people feel like they need to post about it. Like my thing is, if you want to denounce your organization, go ahead and denounce, but you don't need to post on Instagram or sell out your chapter or people that you pledge with, or I feel like it's more of a attention grabber now. I feel like it's all an intention thing. Like you don't have to do all that if you truly feel like you no longer connect with your fraternity or sorority. But nowadays we just see a lot of people just kind of using it as a attention thing. How you feel about that?
Well, like I said, and I felt like maybe those weren't people who did their research from the beginning. Because, why the Lord didn't speak to you then? When you was doing your research, why he gonna wait till you deep up in the thing and say, nah. Yeah, man, come on. I just feel like those are people who, at this point, especially if they've been a member for a while, what is going on in your life. But anything in your life, if you let it, can control you and be your God. It could be alcohol. It could be sex. It could be, I wonder those people who come on and denounce or whatever, I'm sure if we got into their lives or whatever, there are some things that they put before God.
Nah, this is just you're making this the forefront of
right. You're making this the forefront. Yeah. I'm sure there are some things because serving God is an everyday struggle. When I say struggle, it's an everyday, hey, I need to make sure I'm better than yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm living the life that I'm supposed to live every day. And, that could be a struggle every day. There's something the devil gonna tempt you in all ways. So those people, I don't even really listen to them when I hear that stuff. I just be like, you know what, man, go and sit down somewhere. And then, you got to look at them too, were you really active? Because if you're
Not a
active,
t-shirt wearer.
right, if you're active in your fraternity and sorority, you should see some of the good. Now, I'm not saying, we're all, but I think there's more good than there is bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But then I think that goes back to your chapter. Your chapter is such a pivotal thing in coming into Greekdom, because it can really just ruin, you know what I'm saying, your whole experience and what you believe, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. If you don't have the right,
you
don't
know,
have
that
the right
chapter.
people.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of crazy, and there are so many chapters. That's why I felt the way I felt when I came that time, that homecoming, because I felt like we were going left. Like, I was like, yeah, this is the beginning of some tomfoolery. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe that y'all sitting up in here with your hats on in a building that was named after a brother. So where's the respect? Dr. Thomas Cole, who was the first president of Clark Atlanta University, his son pledged Alpha Phi, and we can't even respect the man enough to take our hats off in the building. And then I'm looking around, y'all got your pants off your ass and cheetah draws on, and
Cheetah draws
like,
is
what the
crazy.
hell? But anyway, I still get it. That's been
That was like 10 years ago.
I still get triggered by that, man.
About 30 lines then came through. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, so was there pressure or pride of joining the same fraternity as me? Like, I don't think I pressured you.
Nah.
But I used to say though, hey, hell, the only thing I'm paying for.
I don't think so. I think you did a great job at just kind of putting it in my life without making it seem like it was a necessity to have. And I mean, I wanted it, I saw just coming to homecomings and seeing the bond that you created with whether it be Alon brothers, just brothers in general, or just, us walking down the street and you seeing a brother. Like, I always just wanted to see like what that was about. It was always intriguing to me. So it was never a pressuring thing. One thing I thought was funny, and shout out to Fabe and Phi 18. They used to call me Pro Fight Son. When I was a freshman.
I didn't know that.
I was a freshman at Clark. They were like, you Pro Fight Son. So that was, but even in that, it was never like a.
Talk about that, because I never really asked you, how brothers treated you.
Yeah.
Because my thing was too, and I remember Rodney Cohen's father, Rudolph Cohen, pledged at Clark. His oldest son, because Rodney wasn't his oldest son, pledged at Clark. And I remember him telling me, hey, y'all do anything to him but kill him. But we didn't haze, back in that day. There was never any hazing. But how did you, I never asked you, what did you go through by being the legacy of, and I don't think I was president of the chapter.
And I don't think it, and like I said, it was never, I'm a real one, I'm gonna hold it down, stay 10 toes down at all times. So it was never nothing that I couldn't handle. I thought it was more funny than anything. And I think what made it more funny is because you were the type of brother that was, like, it would have been different if you were a brother that wasn't as, known or didn't create the legacy that you did at Clark and for Alpha Phi, but because you are who you are and people know who you are, made it like funny to me, because it's like, I don't know, I just thought it was more funny. I don't think brothers treated me, I mean, if anything, I just think it helped me get in the door. It helped me, especially when you talk about trying to get online and things of that nature. I just think that it gave me the opportunity, even in the sense of what I'm trying to do now, just being able to say that people, and then they can help you out in ways that you may not, other people don't have that same opportunity. But it was never on some like, oh, we gonna beat him extra because he, what I'm saying?
We don't never do that.
Yeah, never nothing like that.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm just thinking, because you have brothers that's hate that you got haters.
But I never really. I think they were more I think most brothers like were just more like happy to make it happen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, wow, that's dope that not only are you at the same college your daddy was at in the same chapter, like, you know what I'm saying? If you want it, I want to make this happen too. It wasn't like, oh, who you think you is. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, and I
Shout
think
out
it
to the bros.
yeah,
Shout
and I
out to
think
the
it
bros.
helped that I didn't give off like a, oh, you know who I am.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even got to do none of
I
that.
call
Like,
nationals on y'all.
yeah, so I never came with that type of energy, even with what I went through.
Right.
Yeah, it was never.
And just under code,
Mm.
but that was a very important lesson, and I think that reshaped everything too,
Mm.
in the sense where they saw a humbleness,
Yeah,
and that type of thing
for sure.
Because
Because a lot of people would have folded in that situation.
I could have dropped the dime.
You feel me? Could have dropped a couple of dimes.
I could have dropped a couple of dimes.
So now that earnest time we got to wrap up.
I thought that was the bell in my head.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I think I've just been raised the right way and just.
But
been
we
raised,
played that well. Well
Yeah.
played.
Yeah, and I thank God every day for. And like I said, what I'm talking about, we'll definitely get more into it on episode.
Because I could have
part
got
two.
it. I was emotional,
Yeah.
but I really had to pull back.
But
Like,
I needed that. I needed
Yeah.
that, and I'll never forget. Like, yeah, just that whole season for me. Like, I think it was just a test in the sense of just trying to. See, I think it built me. It built my character in a lot of ways. And I even to this day, I'm just super proud of how I handle it.
I agree,
And-
and I'm super proud of that too.
You got to
because-
take it on the chin and just keep it pushing.
Boy, hey, that was one of the longest nights of my life, boy. I ain't gonna even lie. Jesus.
But I'm grateful for it. I think
Yeah.
I couldn't have been on a better line in a better, you know what I'm saying? So I think it all worked out for the best.
Well, some of y'all out there, what the hell?
Yeah.
If you know, you know. And
But
we're
we gonna get
sorry.
into that.
We'll get into
on
that
part
at
two.
some point. But
But I do want to talk about pledging though, and I guess we could wrap it up with that or whatever you want.
so we ain't gonna even take no halftime. We just gonna go.
Yeah, because I feel
straight
like we got so much to kind of cover.
through. All right. What about pleasure?
I just want to talk about it. Like, how do you because I'm gonna say this. Like, of course we're
Initiation.
right.
That's what y'all call it now.
Yeah. Or what they call it at cluster. Character development.
What?
Something like that. They call it whatever. But my point is, when it comes to we have people who have passed away and things of that nature. Like, what is your? Because I'm gonna be honest. Like, I feel like done correctly. Emphasis is on done correctly. I feel like being able to go through something with a group of people can really build, you know what I'm saying, can not only build a bond between, you and others, but really just give you a different perspective on life and give you certain things of whether it be just character development, whether it be social development. I just think when done correctly, being able to be developed by the right people can be a life changer. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of just, like I said, it doesn't have to be, nothing crazy, but what is your opinion on, when people kind of go too far and, we've had instances where people have lost their life and things of that nature. And so it's never that deep. It's never that deep to lose, to go overboard and do things of that nature, but it happens.
Well,
And it happens too often.
yeah, a thing of that is for me, let's, like I said, put out on the table, Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity does not
What?
incorporate, does not condone any type of
Yeah.
hazing or beating or anything like that. And usually I would say this, brothers who have to do that, those are brothers usually who have some problems. I think they have some insecurity problems in their inside of who they are outside of Alpha. Because the whole thing about becoming an alpha man, being an alpha man, is to take you from a spot of pre-greatness and really make you great. Because you're not gonna get online if we don't see something in you.
Mm-hmm.
and that's just how, we are. That's, you got to have something that we can see the potential that, okay, wow, he could be an alpha man. So with that being said, the process is to make you, number one, make you understand that how great you are. And when we can see some opportunities, and I won't say flaws, but opportunities that, okay, hey, we can make this person, better in this aspect. That's what the program should be, is, to make you better. And I will say that, especially with my program, definitely, things are a little different in 86 than 2006. I mean, 2006 or 2026. But I will say that none of this is worth losing a life, period, because life is so precious. So,
you kind of experienced that firsthand with that thing.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little
Morehouse.
bit. What was that? 19
that was
what?
86, man. I was the president of the chapter, and that was Alpha Row, which is Morehouse's chapter of Alpha. There was unfortunately a young man who passed during the process, and that's when what do they call it? Risk management came out.
So that changed everything.
Right. That changed everything, in which it probably should have. Not probably, it should have changed. I ain't going to even sit here and it probably should have changed. No, it should have changed. And, we still have that, that distance right there because, brothers who pledged before risk management and you guys, we used to, oh man, y'all skated in. And so that is, a bridge that has to be closed. And, that respect. But I will always say this, the respect that you earn from being, especially in Alpha, is not really how you got in. It shouldn't be.
Work.
It should be after you got in. After you get in, what have you done? That go back to before you inflate yourself with pride, ask yourself, honestly, how much have I done? That's a little alpha poem. And that's where you define yourself. You define yourself
by the work.
After the work, Are you coming to meetings? Are you financial? Are you, are you lifting up the aims, manly deeds, scholarship, love for all mankind? Are you, is that in your everyday walk?
Right.
So I'm glad that we moved from that because there was some, shenanigans, man, maybe that might have been going on. And you can't control people, so to speak.
Right. It was
everybody right. Yeah, it was, some individuals.
Which I thought was crazy. Like, yeah, it needed to change, like you said, just because because y'all went through what y'all went through and they just sent y'all name to nationals. Right?
What you mean?
Like for y'all to be national, like when y'all crossed over or whatever, like it wasn't a process, like it wasn't no cluster or nothing. It was y'all went through y'all went through what y'all went through, and then they sent y'all names to nationals, right?
But
or whoever.
I think a difference too. You could have went through the whole players progress in my day. Brothers still had to vote on you at the end of the players progress.
That's what I'm saying. To say these are the people that, right? Because you could have just been strung along. Yeah,
we'll holler at you, player.
That's crazy.
We're gonna holler.
Yeah. And even in that's just so not okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stringing along somebody like that, know that.
But let me push back. If it was a job and you was on probation and you didn't live up to what, that was supposed to be, they would fire your ass, right? If most jobs got a third,
I can't say what I really want to say, but I mean, I guess you got a point.
Right, though? I mean.
But I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, you got brothers that'll do that to some interest or some people, whatever, and they know that they not finna put this particular person through. And so you stringing him along for months on end, got him thinking that he finna, you know what I'm saying? And
Well,
then
that's wrong.
at the very end, you gonna finally say, "Oh yeah, brother," after you done did all X, Y, and Z.
But to push
Thank
back,
you for your service.
who knows that brother might have came through on week 2 or week 3.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It needed to change.
Nah,
needed to change.
maybe week 2, you know, what we saw at the beginning was, I don't know about him, but oh man, week 2, he week 3, week 4. And I feel like though that's giving a chance. Now I won't agree. I mean, you know, I will agree. Give a brother a chance because you never know. The process may do that
for sure,
and it should do that. You should take. I'm gonna talk about a brother. I ain't gonna say his name, but right now he's one of the. He was a bishop in the AME church, but now I think he's like up in their, you know, hierarchy or whatever. When I met the brother, you know, some people introduced me to him, and he had on them baby doll shoes. They don't even make them no, like, you know how the shoes the karate people wear, like the black
flat,
flat. And so other brothers was like, oh man, hell to the no, man.
That's just gonna do Brother Corn.
Hell to the no, man. Man, this cat, man. No, but I don't, you know, I talk to him, and when I talk to him, I say, you know, this is, you know, he a solid dude, man. He a real solid dude, and lo and behold, man.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of brothers don't get the opportunity either because of people in the chapter are very picky or they see something
selective,
and they don't. Yeah.
Right. It was a lot of people on my interest line, man. So I remember having interviews. You know, everybody go to the interview. One of the guys in the interviews, he comes back, man, and we could hear like what was going on in the other room. We had like a lot of beating and, you know, like jerking. I'm like, what the hell? We kind of went. So he came out and said, man, what happened, man? I said, man, they asked me to dance, man. I was killing it. I said, oh, that's what that noise was? He said, then they told me to take off my shoes. I said, what happened? I said, why did they tell you to take off your shoes? He said, me, everything was going good, man. And I took off my shoes. I like, man. Cat took off his shoe, man. All his toes inside his socks.
Oh my God, the big toe is poking out. I'm weak. I'm weak, bro. And see, that's what I'm talking about.
That brother did not make, him and his cousin should have made line, man, because they were some good dudes. But man, that was, you know, I said, oh my goodness, we laughed so hard at him that. But this dude, man, you know, he definitely was an asset to the fraternity. Yeah. You know, and to this day, like I said, man, he's a major player in the AME church, man, and I'm proud of him. He was my first line. Man, it was a lot of them on there, so ain't nobody gonna know. Well, maybe so, but anyway, so yeah, you know, and you know, I would say one thing about Alpha, you know, we were a little selective, you know, like my friend used to say, man, we don't need no more brothers, man. You can go join the Peace Corps, man. They need some help, man. We don't need no help. So, you know, being selective, bro, is, you know, whether it's good or bad, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. But definitely, I feel like the whole process should, you know, make you a better person. It should give you the knowledge. Should give you the knowledge of what you should know about the fraternity. Mm-hmm. And it should help you level up, man. And if it doesn't do that, then, what are we doing? So let me ask you, would you tell a young black man considering joining, what would you tell him?
Man, just kind of like what you said already. Just do your research and make sure it's something that it's not that you want in the moment, but something that you know that that you don't mind attaching the rest of your life with. I feel like a lot of times people want something in the moment and they don't know what all comes with it, and we see that happen a lot on the undergraduate level. People get Alpha, or not just Alpha, but just Greek life in general, and then they graduate and they don't even, it's not even a part of their life anymore. It's not a part of who they are in the sense of, still helping the community or being active. So I would just say make sure this is something that you truly want to do, for the rest of your life. It's truly that you want to be a part of, and it's not just something you want in the moment. And do your research on all of the organizations. You may have one in mind that you like more than the others, but just make sure that you do your research on all of them, because you never know what may stick out to you.
And don't be looking at just the colors.
Yeah.
What about, do you think that Black Greek life is still relevant today?
I think it is. I think things like the hazing accidents and things like that kind of damage it a little bit. It makes it kind of be taken less seriously. But I think it's still, what was the word you used? Prevalent? Or relevant? You said relevant?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's relevant. I think, like you said, just the work that we do in the community, outside of just the strolling and stepping, and even as a whole, as an organization, the millions of dollars that we give to different organizations and things of that nature, I definitely think it's relevant.
Yeah, when I was doing my research as well with some of the programs that Alpha does, like go to high school, go to college, I was like, okay, that's major. I'm down with that.
Voteless people.
Hopeless people is the voteless people. I'm down with that. Yeah. Our mentoring program, I'm down with that. So, the things that I was pretty much intrinsically
already.
I was like, okay, hey, I can really just get with this. So, and that's what you should do. If your lifestyle ain't with what they do, then you might need to, do something else. One last question. What is your hopes for the future of Black fraternities and our hopes and futures for each other as it pertains to the fraternity?
That's a good question. I mean, I think in the future, I do think eventually we will come to a place where there is no development process, you know what I'm saying? Or it'd be dwindled down to just kind of just not just he's sneaking in. I know old heads gonna hate that, but I think that it's eventually just gonna come down to just
sneaking the back.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to just like applying. And do you meet these requirements? Does your chapter want to vote you in? All right, brother, we gonna go ahead and let you know what I'm saying? Because I just think that if we continue to, especially on an undergraduate level, now grad chapter is completely different. But on an undergraduate level, I think it's gonna come to a point where it's not gonna be nowhere near the development that should be done for us to continue to be taken as a real organization and to be respected. I think because when we have incidents like the thing that happened to the boy at Southern and Greeks fighting each other and just certain things, I feel like it's gonna limit us in the future. I feel like from being able to continue the legacy in a sense.
Yeah. What about the second part of the question? Hopes for the future of Black fraternities and for each other, I guess, as it pertains to Alpha. So you want to tag the second part, or you want me to?
Yeah, I want you to answer that second part.
Well, for my thing, I'm gonna push back a little bit in the sense of I hope that penalties and the way that we structure our process will get to the point where if you F up, you're gonna find out and F up and find out. That it's gonna be so strong that it's gonna be a deterrent to not do it. And I think that's what we have to do. I think we have to send a strong message when brothers do step outside of that line. Hey, it's we gonna help the prosecutors. Because if we don't, man, we're not gonna have any credibility. And like I said, some of these brothers just be doing stuff, man, just to be doing crazy stuff. So, I hope that we can set, because I feel like there's great importance in that process. I feel like
Me too.
there's and if we take that away, I think that takes away from that whole process and that. So hopefully we'll get to to a point where, we don't have no mercy, man. You want to do this? Okay, this is what's finna happen. The second part is my wish. You're pretty young, you're alpha, man. I just hope that, you continue to grow. And I just feel like when you go back, and no disrespect to any other fraternities, because we all have, members who have done great things in societies or whatever, but when I think about Alpha, you think about some of the greatest leaders in every category. You got MLK, you got Duke Ellington in music, Paul Robeson in acting, and this, that, and the third. We are trendsetters. We are trendsetters. We are trendsetters. And mostly I feel like, we're leaders, man. And, we need black male leaders. We need them. We need them. We need them. And because of, what our aims are, what our goals are, but our aims, those are just, when they came up with that, I was like, wow. When I first heard that, I was like, man, that's deep. Manly deeds. Because, who does that anymore? And we got to always be scholarly, scholarship. If you want to hire someone, what they tell you?
Put it in a book.
Put it in a book. So, scholarship and love for all mankind. And with that being said, even though we're a Black Greek letter organization, it didn't say love for all. And this kind of going back from last week, but that's something different because the government is targeting certain people. But love for all mankind means love for everybody. And, I feel like, we need that. We need, those three things. So I just hope that you live in those veins, man. Sometimes, I put my life and what I'm doing through those just three things. Am I being scholarly? Love for all mankind. Am I being judgmental? Am I, and because that right there is deep. Because sometimes you don't be wanting to love every damn body. You know what I'm saying? We are people who, okay, you slap me, I ain't finna be like, well, who was it? Peter? Ernest, who was it talking about 7 times 7? 70 times 7. Who? But I'm saying, wasn't that a person that, they asked him how long, if a brother slapped me, how many times shall I turn the cheek? Okay. Ernest ain't on today.
Ernest ain't
on today, man. Ernest think about that building.
You think about that money.
He think about that money in that building. Hey, we might have a new spot, man. We might have a new spot. We're gonna pray for Ernest, man. But definitely, we have to do those things, man. So for me, for you, my legacy in the sense of, all of that, bruh, you got to keep it going. You got to keep it going. You got to keep it going. And, hopefully maybe, one day you'll have a little son or whatever. And because of, what he sees in you, that he'll, say, hey, man, I want to see the light too. So that's, all I can say about that. But
yeah, part 2 to this is coming. We got to do the part 2 to side pieces.
With side pieces with some women. Oh,
and then that's gonna hit.
That's gonna.
And then we got to do part 2 to this with your dean and my dean.
But I want to say this, and because this episode will hit Sunday, and this a week before, I want to put this out there just because. So all of you guys who are Clark Atlanta alums, Clark College, Atlanta University alums. We did know that Reverend Paul H. Easley did pass, and the whole, CAU family is saddened by that. His services, homegoing, would be August the 2nd. We are trying to raise money for endowment for his name and his legacy. And I can't even tell you how many countless lives that this man touched in his 20 plus years at Clark Atlanta. And when I say touch, I mean, fed us, gave us money out of his pocket for tuition. He was the epitome of just being there for us. And so we are trying to raise $25,000 before July 31st. And I know we can do it, Clark Atlanta. If you went to chapel and you heard IVOF sing and Rev touch your life, we need you. I don't care if it's $2.50. It could be 50 cents. But if you can give us $20, which represents every year that Rev served at Clark, that's just minimum. But maximum, hey, you big money people, some of you all are making 6 and 7 figures, go on and bless us so we can make sure that his legacy lives on at Clark Atlanta. And I will say this, I will make sure that every dime is going to go where it needs to go, because I know some of y'all, oh no. Yeah. Hey, I've experienced that. So I ain't playing no games. All books will be open. We'll be transparent. We're going to let you know where the money went. But we have to do this. This man meant too much to the CAU community for us to not have him live on in perpetuity. Ooh, I used a big word right there.
Yeah, and if you don't want to send it there, just go ahead and send my cash up. I'll make sure that it get Zelle. What else? Zelle, Cash App, Venmo. Send it to me, and I'll make sure that.
Because this boy playing. Let me give. Go to.
Just put the link on the episode.
Oh, I can do that, Ernest. I'll send you the link. Put it on the episode.
Like,
but it's rally up. He's like, God dang, more work I got to do. I'm sick of these jokers. But it is rally up. That is the platform that we're using. So I was just trying to give you the thing right quickly. I know he said put it on the thing, but But yeah, it's go.rallyup.com. Go.rally, RALLYUP.com. And we have 2 teams right now. Alpha Phi. Hey man, get your fraternity brothers. We got a team, Alpha Phi team. So make an appeal to your brothers, man, especially if they were there at the time. Even if they wouldn't, do you a solid. Can they please donate to the cause? And right now, IVOF is winning. I think we're number 1. And then Alpha Phi chapter is behind us. Alpha Pi is coming up later on tonight. So we're trying to get the D9s to, do what they need to do. Beta side coming. I already talked to Chris, Mr. Chris, who Chris, and you playing drums Sunday. By the way, you gonna be like, man, whatever.
That's my guy.
So anyway, y'all, hey, we appreciate you guys. I've been looking at, we just really trying to get some good material for you guys for the podcast. And we see you guys watching. We appreciate it. I don't know why y'all won't just hit the button.
Push a button.
Push a button. Just push a button. Go ahead and support us, man. We appreciate it. So we can, because Ernest finna charge us some higher rent because he finna move downtown. So, we gonna have to be paying a little bit more money. So Ernest finna moving on up to the east side.
I want the when we start filming over here, that gotta be like season 2.
Yeah, that'd be season 2 because I'm gonna have to make some money.
Changes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sell some crack or something.
I wish I had some crack.
You stupid. Anyway, we done went all off the. We ain't do no.
Yeah. But I hope.
Ain't
I
no
hope.
2
I hope.
minutes. Ain't no out the lines. None of that.
But I hope that everyone who sees this, whether you're Greek or not, got something from this. Aspiring people who are aspiring to be Greek, or just I hope that this sizzled in your spirit. Like I said, this will be part 1 of a part 2. Man, I said that wrong. This is part 1 of a series that will be another part. Something like that. So yeah, I hope that this.
He wish he had some pride.
I hope that this was knowledgeable and spoke to some people. And it's okay to go off the line sometimes. It's okay to
well, I'm gonna say this so we can close it out. Hey man, like I said, I just wanted to expose you. I never knew, I don't know if I would have paid for nothing else, because I don't put bad money after bad money. Watch everybody in other Greek. Think, oh, you full of crap. But anyway,
no, he waited to the end and started talking shit.
Yeah, I'm proud. It was. I can't even tell you how I felt that you chose Alpha, and I don't even have words, man. I can get choked up right now, but just continuing to hold high the name, and be a trailblazer as we are. And I wish you well and whatever, and hopefully, I guess Talib Jr. I'm gonna haze him though, because I just feel like
that's where we need to cut.
Haze.
So all my brothers out there, man, keep holding high the name. We appreciate y'all for watching. Yeah, 06, man, and hit the button, and we got to start putting our social media. We got to get that together. Our social.
Yeah, you're the marketing major, so
I
I'm
ain't
an
been
old
having
man.
time.
So
But yeah, we thank y'all, man, and until next time.
Till next time, peace. MVP,
Hey.
Man's Viewpoint.
It's the MVP. Come on in and see what it be. Giving you a man's viewpoint, and we just wanna help you see. We talk real life, no cap, no shade. Truth in the open, no mask, no fade. From love and money to faith and pride, it's a ride through the mind of the other side.